Hi, I'm Chad Lakies, and I'm the author of How the Light Shines Through, Resilient Witness in Dark Times. And I'm really excited for you to see this book. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and what moved me to write it. 25 years ago, I became a follower of Jesus. He pulled me in through inviting me to play drums at a Lutheran church's praise team that didn't have a drummer. And that began everything for me. It wasn't long after that I felt the call to go to seminary and get pastoral training. And then at that time, having done a number of things in ministry, including getting a church restarted in an old dilapidated building, I really didn't think traditional pastoral ministry serving in a parish was the right fit for me. So I stayed and did a PhD. Going all the way back, my studies have always been influenced by my conversion experience. I've always wondered how church and culture can relate together better, especially how the church can understand the culture and the world around them, and especially for the effect that the church might better reach people who were like me, someone who didn't know Jesus really at all, who had a lot of ideas and was thinking about things and exposed to things like science and philosophical questions and so on that often tended to be antagonistic to Christianity. How the church could encounter someone like me with those kinds of questions and struggles, and as winsomely as happened to me, engage with outsiders such that they might be added to the kingdom. They might come to know how God shines his light through. And so I wrote this book as an effort to try to help the church understand that it's really through human beings, relationships built on trust, and a good, positive, plausible witness that is going to be the best way that God reaches down through all of us to shine his light, to engage with people who used to be outsiders, just like myself. And as a scholar, then I've worked on a lot of questions about how the church relates to culture, and I've tried to offer a lot of what I've discovered that's helpful in the various chapters of my book, whether that's understanding what it means to live in a secular age. How do we not let issues prevent relationships? How do we not disassociate from people that we agree with? How can we be better friends, more hospitable with those that we would consider our enemies? How do we work through questions like identity, such as who am I and how do I understand that in a faithful way? How do we deal with questions of identity that really are affecting our culture widely right now and dominating our conversations? How can we respond faithfully as the church with answers to those questions and not constantly be on our heels wondering if we're going to be just stuck, not knowing how to engage in a winsome way? How can we reach out in the secular age where it seems like we're trying to do ministry to people who don't really need God or are interested in God? How can we connect them with the God who wants to have a relationship with them? And in all of this, how can we lean back on the wisdom that we have in our tradition, especially the earliest years of the church, as they struggled in their minority role, very much like we seem to be in today, with how to be faithful. And they made a huge impact. It's formed and shaped the world that we live in today in the West. It's not always well acknowledged, but it's there. Those roots are there. And so how can we lean back on that ancient wisdom as we press on into the future and try to respond to God's calling for us? I really want you to read this book. I'm excited about it. I want your feedback too. Is this helpful to you? And let me know. Reach out. I'd love to hear from you.